to be a musician or be a good musician never turns off. Like Rock, I'm sure your boys, they love drums, right? They can be in the car with whatever they find, and what they're gonna be doing. Is a drum set in y'all car? Is some cymbals in y'all car? Ain't nothing. But the desire is on the inside of them. So to them, they playing the drums.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
Yeah. Come on.
You can be a singer. And you know God put that on the inside of you. You don't wait to get a microphone to sing. You all in the shower, you at Walmart, you in all type of places. You always got a song. You can be a preacher. In the bathroom, in your car, preaching to dogs going down the street because you are a preacher. You can't turn that. It's a desire. You can't, and God gave that to you. You just you try your best to stop hearing from God. God give you words, and you want to go to sleep, but you just can't go to sleep because God give you some revelation. You got your phone out all times of the night, get down revelation. It's just me. We get down revelations, and you, Lord, just please just stop talking. I'm ready to go to bed, but He won't. But because it's your desire. You don't know how to turn that thing off. It's your desire. Your desire. Is what's different than your passion. Because that thing will leave.
My Lord.
But what that desire that God placed on the inside of us, a musician or a preacher or media, see, ain't nobody got to beg you to do that type of thing. No. What God placed on the inside of you, what God has set on the inside of you, people got to tell you to stop doing it. Y'all singers, when y'all grew up, did people tell y'all to stop singing a whole lot? Well, you just shut up. They told me that a whole lot in my house. My mom was, she abused me. She did me wrong. Just shut up! And I had a song on my heart. I just had a song on my heart. Jesus gave it to me. Be quiet. But people will be annoyed by what you just love to do. And you can't turn it off. You can't have, Elder Mike can't help me, he love Paul. Hear all he talk about is Paul. You can't, if you get him to start talking about Paul, you're going to be there for an hour learning about Paul. Mike, I'm really trying to eat. But he can't turn that off. It's on the inside of him. It's just on the inside. It's just on. Jamero, you can't get him when it's business and stuff. You can't get him to stop talking about that type of music and stuff. You can't get him to stop talking about it. We talk a whole lot of other crazy stuff too. We can't get him to stop talking about it. Your clothing boutique, your jewelry, books. Don't apologize for that. God put that thing there. Yeah. God put it there. God placed it right there. He says, whatsoever thing you desire, when you pray, you believe that you receive them and ye shall have them. Believe that you've received it. So, and I just mean to the church, so the church building for me, I've so received that is such a desire God has placed on the inside of me, because quite naturally, if there wasn't a desire that I had, we'll be good just doing church here. Because there's nothing wrong with doing church here. There's nothing wrong. We love it. We can have it until we get ready pretty much. I mean, there's nothing wrong with continuing. Matter of fact, I had a preacher to tell me, well, you better just think where you at, but no, that's not my desire. God didn't place it. God told me we were going to have our own. And I wasn't around there praying for that. God gave that to me. And so it is so settled on the inside of me. It is so settled in my heart and in my mind. And I say this, and I don't mean to sound crazy, but when I stand up here on this stage, I am not really at the powerhouse. I am standing in our sanctuary. That's why I don't get distracted by whatever we got to come in and clean up, come in and tear down and break. Because it's only when you know something is temporary, you can hold on as long as you need to hold on, because it won't be this way always. Just like I know my house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on. Yeah. That's why I can shout with Elder Sheila. Because when it's in the house, it's in the house. It's in the house. It's in the house. What have God placed in your spirit, in your desire? He put it there. And listen, there is no devil can stop what God has placed in your desire. He says, you shall have it. It will. And New Living Translation says, it will be yours. We have to, Jesus was saying this, he said, listen, but you first got to have faith in God. Having faith in God, you can do the impossible. You can do anything. There's absolutely nothing you can't do, but you got to have faith in God. The only way we're going to have a it shall be well life, or it shall be well in time of trouble, is that we go back to the source. We go back to Him. 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 Now the message I was going to preach was a Shunammite woman. That you know how Elisha, we can go there, how Elisha, 2 Kings 4, how he went we start with the 8th verse, and I try to paraphrase, and I pray that I don't miss any meat that God wants me to release. She said in the very first verse, she said, and it fell. Let me just read what she said, because this gonna make so much sense. Let's go to 2 Kings 4 and 8. And it fell on a day that Elisha passed the Shunem, where was a great woman, hear that? And she constrained him to eat bread. And so it was that as oft as he passed by, he turned in to eat bread. This is her. And she said unto her husband, behold, I now perceive that this is a holy man of God which passeth by us continually. Verse 10 says, let us make a little chamber, I pray thee, on the wall, and let us set for him there a bed, a table, a stool, and a candlestick. And it shall be, when he cometh to us, that he shall turn in thither. And it fell on the day that he came thither, and he turned into the chamber and lay there. And he said to Gehazi, his servant, call this Shunammite. And when he had called her, she stood before him. And he said unto him, say now unto her, behold, thou hast been careful for us with all this care. What is to be done for thee? Wouldest thou be spoken for the king or to the captain of the host? And she answered, I dwell among my own people. And he said, verse 14, wait. Then is this to be done for her? And Gehazi answered, verily, she hath no child, and her husband is old. Verse 15, and he said, call her. And when he had called her, she stood in the door. Remember that. She stood in the door. Very, very, matter of fact, write that down. She stood, when he called her, she stood in the door. And he said, about this season, according to the time of life, thou shalt embrace a son. And she said, nay, my Lord, thou man of God. That's like the third time she called him that. Do not lie unto thy handmaid. And the woman, I'm reading fast because we got somewhere to go. And the woman conceived and bare a son at that season that Elisha had said unto her, according to the time of life. Verse 18. And when the child was grown, it fell on a day that he went out to his father to the reapers. And he said unto his father, my head, my head. And he said to the lad, carry him to his mother. And when he had taken him and brought him to his mother, he sat on her knees till noon and then died. Y'all just forgive me, I gotta keep reading. And she went up and laid him on the bed of the man of God, and what? Shut the door upon him and went out. And she called unto her husband and said, send me, I pray, one of the young men and one of the asses, that I may run to the man of God. She said it again, and come again. And he said, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? Is it neither new moon nor Sabbath? And she said, it shall be well. All right, verse 24. Then she saddled an ass and said to her servant, drive and go forward. Slack not thy riding for me, except I bid thee. Verse 25. So she went and came unto the man of God, she said it again, to Mount Carmel. And it came to pass, when the man of God saw her afar off, that he said to Gehazi his servant, behold, yonder is that Shunammite. Run now, I pray thee, to meet her, and say unto her, is it well with thee? Is it well with thy husband? Is it well with thy child? And she answered, and what she say? It is well. Verse 27. And when she came to the man of God to the hill, she caught him by his feet. But Gehazi, the armor-bearer, came near to thrust her away. And the man of God said, let her alone, for her soul is vexed within her. And the Lord hath hid it from me, and have not told me. Verse 28. Then she said, did I desire a son of my Lord? Did I not say, do not deceive me? Then he said to Gehazi, gird up thy loins, and take my staff in thine hand, and go thy way. If thou meet any man, salute him not. If any salute thee, answer him not again, and lay my staff upon the face of the child. And the mother of the child said, as the Lord liveth, and as the soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And he arose and followed her. This is what's going on. This lady, rich woman, Shunammite lady, perceived Elisha to be a man, a holy man of God. That's how she referenced him. And so what she did, she so honored him that she asked her husband. She stayed in order. Asked her husband, and they built a room on. Got him a candle, got him a chair, got him a bed, and there he ate and he slept every time he evangelized through that city. Yes. He had a place to go because she so honored him. And so one day when he was there in his chamber, in his room, he said, you know what? I cannot. This woman been sewing and doing this and been honoring me the way she's been honoring me. Ask her, what does she desire? Come on. Ask her, what does she want? She said, I don't desire I live among my own people, so I don't need nothing from the king or anything like that. So I'm good. I'm rich. I got service. I'm good. And so they began to have a proper conversation. He and his armor-bearer, and his armor-bearer said, well, you know what? She don't have a child, and her husband is old. He said, call her back in here. She stood in the door, and he said, by this time next year, you're going to have a child. Whatever, all right? And then we know that then she has a child, and then we know that when the child is out in the field with the father, the child gets a fever. He says, my head, and the father asks the lad or the servant to carry him to his mother. He goes to his mother, and he dies. The promise, she didn't ask for it. It was her honor blessing. There are some blessings you're going to get just for honor. I clap myself. Because we're going back. If we're going to have an it shall be well life, we have to know who to go back to. And it's going to make sense. We got some more to read. We got to know who to go back. We have to know. God said, he said, and Mark 11, when he said, have faith in God. Y'all, have faith in God. And then all of these things just going to come behind you having faith in God, the right source, the one that has all the power. He said, have faith in God. Anyway, so we go on. She says, she laid the son, her dead child, on the bed of the man of God. Now, the man of God, if you study the man of God, how she kept referencing him and referencing him being a man of God, he was really acting as her pastor.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, you got to love the Bible. I'm just saying, you can't read without really reading it and studying it and commentaries and translations. It was really her pastor that she made all of these things happen for it. And y'all, I ain't trying to have no appreciation day. I'm appreciated. It ain't that. I'm just trying to get you to go to the right source. That's all I'm trying to. I don't need no special Sundays or nothing like it. Ain't nothing like that. So he just trying to. I'm trying to get you blessed. Right? I'm trying to get you blessed. All right, and so this man of God, which he kept referring to, man of God, and he was a phenomenal man of God. He was Elisha. This man, in one translation read, he was like the voice. Well, he was the voice of God during this time. And anytime you want to have an encounter with God, you will see Elisha, because that's how close and they walked and how close they worked together. So man of God was in order. He was a man of God. He was literally representing God on earth. Isn't that bad? He was literally representing God. He wasn't just a man. He was a man of God. He wasn't just a prophet. He was a man. He could have had any title he wanted to have. He could have had Apostle Elisha. He could have had Bishop Elisha. He could have had whatever. But he was so much of everything, because God is so much of everything. God is everything. He just had to be man of God, and he'll just take care of everything. Y'all got that? He was the man of God. And so she told her husband. She said, she asked for permission to go see him. Understand this. Read this my whole life. The husband didn't even know the child was dead. It never said. They never had a conversation. He sent the child in the house because the child was complaining about a headache. When the child died, she took him to the room of Elisha. Yes. Then she goes and asks, can she have permission to go see the man of God? I got to get to my pastor.
Read it. Come on here.
Because something has happened in my life. I'm rich, but money can't fix this. I got everything. I got servants, but they can't serve their way into this. No. I got my child, my promise, my blessing has died, and I got to go back to the right source. Now I'm a rich lady, so I can get any doctor I want. The Bible didn't talk about she didn't call no physician. She didn't call nobody. There were other preachers and priests in the city. She could have called them. She could have got a visiting pastor to come and preach to her and pray and lay hands. And she said, no, I got to get to my man of God. I got to go see him. And I don't care what I got to do to get I got to go. Madam, she broke protocol. He asked her. He said, this ain't on the Sabbath. She said, it shall be well. He was like, this ain't the right day. You're going to go. This is an awkward time to go see the man of God, and you're going to go today. She said, it shall be well. I don't care what day. There are some situations you're going to get in. You don't care what people think, what they got to say. You don't care what day, what time of the morning it is. All you need, I got to get to the man of God. I got to get to God. I need an answer. I need some help, and I need it right now.
Yes, sir.
She said, told her servants to saddle up. Don't you stop unless I tell you. Don't slow down unless I tell you. Now, from where she was to where Elisha was about 15 miles. It was 15 miles. Now it's not 15 miles like you would get in your car and drive 15 miles. 15 miles on a narrow, dirty, rugged road in a carriage, driving like you lost your mind for 15 miles. Remember when you had a flat and you just drove a half a mile? How you was bucketed and you just thought your whole car was going to change? So imagine that for 15 whole long country miles. You know what country miles are? Country miles. Long country miles. Long. Country miles. 15 country miles is like 100 miles. But she said, I gotta get there. So the man of God, her pastor, seen her from afar off. Isn't that my daughter? Something is wrong with her. Gehazi, go see what's wrong with her. And I just pictured in my head. She got out of her buggy. She was walking. Gehazi trying to talk to her. Is everything okay? Is everything well with your husband? Yes, sir. She's just walking. Everything okay with your And she looked at Gehazi. It is well. Her child is at home dead. But y'all gotta help with this. But because the reason I can say it is well, because I'm almost close to my man of God. If y'all, I'm almost close to my man. I can see him. I don't know how y'all feel, but when I talk, if I'm having any type of day, especially when I'm going back and forth to Cleveland a whole lot, any type of day, and I'll share this, and I would just walk in New Life Church. I had a bad day. Many times I got that broken, but when I stepped in the sanctuary and felt the spirit of my Father, I was fine. Because I was there. Y'all, you get it? Yeah. It's have faith in God. And yeah. But there are some men and women on earth God has placed in your life that you won't have to struggle as much as you've been struggling if you just come to them. Right. We've been going to the wrong. We've been seeking help from other people, and they may have good instructions. They may have good direction. They may have a great revelation, but it's not the word for my life. It's not. It may be a good word, but it's not the God word that's going to break chains and loose burdens. It's not the thing that's going to help me come out of the situation that I'm in. So she said, it is well. So after he found out what was happening, he told Gehazi, go ahead, don't stop, don't speak to nobody, don't tip nobody, just keep going on. And she did something so phenomenal in verse 30. Verse 30, she did something phenomenal. And as Gehazi was running to see about her dead child, she stayed with him. She didn't go back home with Gehazi. Verse 30, and the mother of the child said, as the Lord liveth and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. Because I understand that the power is here. Yeah. And so I'm not going to leave the power to go back to a dead thing. I understand that the power is right here. Right? So if I'm to get my help, if I'm to get anything, I'm staying with the power. I'm not going after the popular thing, I'm going after the powerful thing. Yes, yeah, right. So she says, as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And he arose and he followed her. Gehazi passed on before them and laid the staff upon the face of the child, but there was neither a voice nor hearing him. In verse 31. Wherefore he went again to meet him and said, and told him again, this child is out of the way. Gehazi said, listen, man, I went and laid this staff upon him, but he's still dead. I can't do it. I tried to do it. I went and followed your instructions, but I cannot do it. And so when Elisha, verse 32, was coming to the house, behold, the child was dead and laid upon who bed? His bed. Y'all reading it? And laid upon his bed. He went. Man. See, I got a message coming out. You make sure you're laying in the right bed.
Reach up. Come on here.
Because you could be dead, but in the right bed and come back alive. Yeah. You could be alive and lay in the wrong bed and be dead.
Reach up.
Y'all can scream like that later on. Trust me, I understand. So when Elisha came into the house, behold, the child was dead and laid upon his bed. And he went in therefore, and what he do? Shut the door upon them twain and prayed unto the Lord. He went back to God, to the source. Watch this. Watch the honor. The very next verse 37, is it by itself? 37. Then she went in and fell at his feet. Now you would think a mother, that child was dead, and that just came back to life, would run to that child screaming and hollering and crying, my baby. No. She went and fell at his feet and bowed herself to the ground. Then she took her son and went out. She says, I can't appreciate the life of my child without reverencing who just gave him life all over again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lord.
I can't. With all due respect, man of God, all due respect, Pastor, I know you just told me to go grab my child, but if you would just let me worship God for a moment, hallelujah. If you would just let me lay on my face for a moment and just begin, my baby, okay, I see him sitting up playing and coughing and choking. He's all right, so I ain't got to rush to him just yet, but if you would just let me, that's something about a worshiper. If you would just let me worship God for a moment and tell him how much I love him, how much I appreciate him, how much I adore him. God, I honor you. God, you are my King of Kings and you are Lord of Lords. You are truly the Alpha and the Omega. I call you holy. I call you righteous. I call you Jehovah Jireh. I call you Jehovah Eli. I call you Master. I call you Teacher. I call you Great Wonder. I call you Counselor. I call you Deliverer. I miss my baby, but I got to worship you right now. Oh, you've been good to me. Somebody help me worship God. Somebody help me. Oh, God, you're awesome. I know it was a dead situation, but thank you for bringing life back into it. That's why we got to worship you. Yeah. Yeah. I know that's my baby. I know. I know. I know. But because I honor the man of God, as I perceive him to be in verse 8, my honor didn't change. Matter of fact, it got even greater. It got greater because notice that the Shunammite lady, woman, she never panicked through any of the verses. She didn't panic. She had a "it shall be well" in her spirit. And then it changed from "it shall be well" to "it is well." I could almost feel that when she got closer and closer to her pastor, when she got closer and closer to the man of God, when she got closer and closer to God's representative on earth, she just felt the it. Oh, it's good. It's fine. I ain't worried about it. I feel my baby. I feel something changing. I feel something shifting. I ain't got no need to worry because I know everything will be okay. She said she went in. She fell at his feet and bowed herself to the ground. She took her son. Matter of fact, let's put that in there. She bowed herself to the ground. She bowed herself to the ground. She bowed herself. She bowed herself to the ground. God is saying today, receive in your spirit, it shall be well. Yes. But know and remember who empowers the "it shall be well" in your life. There is nothing this year nor years to come that will ever have the power to take or destroy you, take you out or destroy you. Mark 11. Have faith in God. For verily I say unto you that whosoever say unto the mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have what he saith. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. You shall have it. This is the year of it shall. We dealt with rebelliousness, and we know how God feels about that, and we know that's the whole center and the focus of this year. But there are some really great things headed your way. I'm talking about there are some shells that's attached to you, and your honor and your respect and your love for the word and your reverence for God and your honor and respect for his house and for his assignment. I'm telling you, if you hear nothing else, your honor this year will open doors your serving can't do. Because you can be like Peter, you can serve from afar and your heart be far from it. But when you honor God with your substance, when you honor God with your time, your talent, and your treasures, nothing, I hear the Lord saying, nothing will be withheld from you. She so honored the man of God, and he was so impressed that God asked her, what do you want? What do you want? You've been around here doing this and you've been taking care. You've been stop for a moment. What do you want? Ask me what you will. Ask me what you will. And while you're asking me, go ahead and believe that you already received it. If you ask me for a car, already see yourself driving it. If you ask me for a business, already see yourself working it. Whatever you ask me from this day forward, receive it in your heart. He says, as much as you receive it, that's how much you're going to have in your hand. Yeah. Can we worship God? God, we worship you. We worship you. It shall be well. But we run back to you. We run back to you to bring to life any dead situation. Matter of fact, we run back to you to kill anything that's alive that's supposed to be dead. We run to you in Jesus' name. We seek your counsel, no one else's. We run to your door, no one else's. We fall back in love with you completely and totally. God, we honor. Listen, and how God gave this to me, because it wasn't just talking about honoring pastors or leaders in a church setting. You got to honor your boss. Don't go ask somebody else about your job when he's over your job and he can tell you better how to do your job. That's honor. Because if we're going to get this thing together, we got to get it all together. Right? We got to get it all together. Your husbands, honor your wives. Wives, honor your husbands. We have to honor one another. If you're a supervisor, come on, honor your supervisor. Visit whoever who's ever in leadership or leading over you, spiritually, naturally, whatever. Honor gets the blessing. We say on the job, the reason why that person got their promotion is because they kissed that person's tail. Well, you call it kissing tail. I call it honor. Right? I ain't gonna catch nobody. Nobody asked you to do that. But when you see, honor looks different to a rebellious person. Honor to a rebellious person. Oh, yeah, I ain't kissing you. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not. No, you a man just like me. No, you a woman just like me. That's rebelliousness. But when I look, see, there are things I can look. And y'all front row people, y'all just catch it because y'all in the front row. I can look to Elder Mike. I can talk to him about Paul. That's one of the things, one of the many things. But when I ask him about Paul, I'm really open to receive knowledge about Paul because I honor him in having information and knowledge about Paul. On the flip side of it, if I'm immature, I would say Mike can only talk to me about Paul. Because my honor only goes as far as Paul for him. The devil is a liar. That ain't how God got it set up. If I honor him, I honor every word that comes out of his mouth. If honor, I honor my mom, and I can never say my mom is too hard on me. I honor her. I honor her voice. I honor my wife. And she can be the most critical person in my life. She get me together. But I don't look at it that way because I honor her. Right? If Toy is the praise team, getting on the praise team, you can't say, oh, that's Toy. Toy is a representative of God. That is delivering instructions as it relates to the music department. And so she can never just be, oh, that's just Toy. The elders of this house can never be, oh, they just blah, 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 blah. No, they are representatives of God. Deacon Fox can never just be Paul. Even though you may call him that, but in your spirit, you honor him as Deacon Fox. And when he talks, you shut up and listen. And not talk over him. Some of y'all women that I talk to sometimes, I can't even get a word in because you talk over me. No, I'm serious. Stop that. Listen. Shut up and listen. Just listen. Just listen. I'm trying to give you something to help you. Well, Pastor, I don't know. I don't know. Just listen. I promise you, anytime I talk to you, I'm not really trying to have a debate with you. I just want to tell you what God said, and let's go get some chicken. Speaking of which, the fast is over. They ain't shouting out. They ain't shouting the whole sermon over the word. Because there's no honor. I'm just kidding. You honor the fast being over with more than you honor. I'm just kidding. I know y'all hungry. The first time Shalon said something all day. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Thank you. That's all right. If we are to impact this city, this state, the world, the way we are supposed to, it starts with honor. She started the text off with how she perceived him to be a man of God. We have to respect and honor each other, right? We have to respect and honor each other. I'm telling you something. have we, from day one to this day, we will never tell you anything, and I'm done. Matter of fact, let's stand. I will never tell you anything that I have not heard God say. That's why many times you may text me and I don't respond. It's not that I'm ignoring you. Sometimes I don't get it right away. But if I don't hear God from it, it just takes me a little time to get back with you. Because I honor you and I respect you. But I'm not just going to give you anything. Woman of God, receive the man of God, to be a man of God. She received the blessing died. She didn't go to a position, she didn't go to a friend, she didn't use her money, but the next thing she did was she went back to the man of God. Who have you been running to and not your man of God? Could it be we're still in this cycle because we have not been running to the man of God? Could it be? 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 Because I want to break the cycle. I want to break the cycle in your life. I've given you leaders. Terrence, we straight now? I've given you leaders that you can go to. And don't use this excuse that everybody uses. Mike, they be saying, well, I ain't want to bother you because you're busy. Let me decide then how busy we are. Let us decide then. Come on. Because what happens when you get in trouble and go out and mess up, then you ask for counseling, I'm not going to give it to you. Because you should have came ahead of time. And Bishop did me the same way. I told y'all this story. He didn't give me nothing. That's something I stepped out and did, and then I asked him about it after I did it. He said, why on earth would you come to me and ask me anything after you made that move? I have nothing to say about that matter. And what? I didn't honor him enough to go to him at first. But now I'm in trouble. Now I honor him. No. Man, we got thousands of people to impact. We got a building to go and possess in Jesus' name. Yeah. I'm telling you. That we can't have little things like this. We have to allow God to go ahead and weed out in Jesus' name.